Hello everyone and welcome back to more BTS Americas action powered by Squarespace along with AlphaDraftG2A.com. And well, I don't want to get too much into it. Apologies, of course, for the bit of stream errors. I assure you the local recording is going all the way through, and all the YouTube VODs will be uploaded on the BTS YouTube space. We're not too sure exactly what's going on. If it's a Twitch end thing or our ISP, as Maut and I do share the same one. We're both having a little bit of hiccups here and there, so we're just going to fight through it as much as possible. Along with me and my partner in crime for casting today is Maut. Maut joining me again remotely. So as for the game number one, it was Team Archon pulling out the win. It was the Snakes who tried more of a defensive kind of get up here. Didn't really get what they wanted done, but they are persistent, Maut. They have got the Pugna once more in the second game draft.
Yeah, they really want to get this to work. And the thing is, I don't think that Archon are too unfamiliar with this. I know they've played Pugna occasionally in some of a sort of a similar fashion. I think they even did it at the qualifiers as well. So they're definitely not opposed to playing. In fact, both of these heroes, Undying is something that Fogged has played many times. They thought was a broken hero at the beginning of the patch. I think it's been changed a little bit since then. I can't remember what the changes were at 6.84 B and C, but Undying still very strong. But Archon seemingly they have an understanding of what the best hero is currently besides Leshrac in the patch, and that is Tusk. Heroes, I mean, teams seem to pick this hero up in almost any situation. First pick, second pick, as long as you could grab it, you should go for it. As an offlane player, it's amazingly easy to play. He's tanky, he provides a lot of control, he's got a great AoE disruption effect if necessary, and then of course Archon go for the Shadow Fiend, which is the tried and true. It almost feels like every team plays this hero, and there's got to be at least one player on that team that has a good Shadow Fiend player. And for Archon, it should be Ush. We've seen him play it before. He's played it fantastically. Korok's not necessarily known for his Shadow Fiend play, but he can pick it up if he needs to. And now we have that third pick coming out as well for Archon Dota 2. What will they go for to stop this Pugna Nether Ward from being annoying? Because that's what it was last game when you think about it. It was just generally annoying, Dakota.
It really was. I do like that they have the Undying now. The Undying in Pugna is a deathball strat that we've seen from many teams. I know NIP was a big candidate for using it at their TI5 qualifier run here. So Archon really using their time on the clock to kind of recognize and appreciate and give a bit of respect for what is to come their way and how they could defensively prepare for it. Maybe just getting a bit extra into the creep clear department or what. But for now, they are happy with what they got done from Crystal Maiden and Fogged in particular in game number one, and they're going to be going back for it once more. And you know what? It was just a refreshing thing to see her back in action once again. But yeah, I'm a bit concerned for this run. I mean, I'm also surprised a lot of top priority grabs just kind of being passed over at this point. You know, Fogged is one to play a lot of Wisp. There's been no Wisp ban or pickup, and also the Bloodseeker is still being ignored up to this point.
The Bloodseeker is hit or miss, and in this type of game, I think Archon could probably grab it. There's not that much lockdown, except for Decrep, which is very good against the Bloodseeker, obviously. Sprout's pretty good in its own right. Other than that, Bloodseeker, it really comes down to, like, last picking it, because if Storm is available, he just destroys that hero from time to time, especially if he has a good start. Like, if you have any sort of resemblance of control, Bloodseeker is going to have a rough time. That doesn't necessarily exist for Frost Snake abusers, but they have room to work for it. I don't think Archon will grab it. It's not something we've seen them play yet, although this is only their second official that we've seen since TI5 qualifiers. For Snake abusers, you would know better than I would in terms of what they grab, but it feels like they really like pushing. That's an Aegis Prophet, so they seem to have some understanding of let's fight early, let's push often, and let's try to finish this by 20 to 30 minutes. So is that going to work? It's going to be hard. They have an Omni Knight now for Archon, which is pretty great against Pugna. It's pretty great against a lot of the heroes here. We'll see how things turn out.
The only thing I could think of as someone to stop that death ball a bit, but offer a good defensive utility would have been maybe something like a tree. You know, he could help out with those towers, keep them alive, and
10 seconds
get the extra bit of armor around when necessary. But Omni Knight certainly can do that job
5 seconds
as good, if not better. And look at the follow-up grab here.
Team are now picking.
Going to get picked up here. Possibly the Korok grab here if Ush does, of course, fall back for a Shadow Fiend once more. And I guess with the help of Omni Knight, Weaver doesn't even need to kind of acknowledge getting a BKB early on. He gets the free repel there. He's got plenty of mana regen from his Crystal Maiden, and you already have your Enforcer and Tusk. So respectable lineup from top to bottom. All bases covered, it seems, for Team Archon, but for the Frosted Snakes now, maybe lacking bit in the silence department, a way to shut down, disable this pesky little Weaver. They might need to consider some serious disables.
They need something because right now they have
Reserve
nothing
time.
to deal with Repel from Omni Knight, and Weaver will probably be able to go Tread, Tequila, maybe go for another smaller item before getting what I imagine to be an early Desolator, especially with the change to the recipe, making it a bit cheaper. It allows you to be a bit more aggressive. It chews through almost everybody in this lineup. Maybe with the exception of, well, obviously Decrepify, Undying can be tough. TA, that's not really that's not the lockdown we're looking for. It's just more defensive capabilities, more kind of run-at-you lineup. They have, it's a lot like what they had with the Dragon Knight, who's a tanky-ish sort of damage dealer that can push down towers very early on with the help of maybe another hero. They do have some decent armor reduction, obviously, with the TA, which is nice. They can make her even tankier through Aphotic and Decrep, but I don't know if this was the right choice. I would have almost liked to see, I don't know, man. Even a Storm would have been fine. Just any other control. Just force, force the Omni Knight to either repel himself, get an Orchid, do something to get more lockdown. This Omni Knight is going to have a great time, I think, assuming they get run at early on, which should happen. I mean, if you look at Frost Snake Abusers, they have a lineup that really is reminiscent of, okay, let's just try to TP in, get as many kills early as possible, and go from there. And that seems to be the case. We'll see how things go, Archon. I like their lineup a bit more. We'll have a quick pause as we enter the game. Everything should be good to go now. And it is Usher on the Shadow Fiend. No real surprise there. As yeah.
Oh man, but I agree with you. I mean, just based on the paper, based on paper and the draft that's been thrown together, it feels like this Omni Knight, this Weaver, are going to be able to do as they please, and there's not going to be much to stop them. But it is Loomdon after all, and this guy is a mad scientist with his drafting capability. Is he successful though, or is he just that crazy old guy who seems to blow himself up from time to time? That's the question here. But he's playing what looks like more of a 4-position Nature's Prophet, looking to get maybe proactive. He'll get the early, null tallies here and there, and just keep his eyes aware and just see where the action's going to break out and try to be there at a moment's notice. It does seem just a bit crazy to me, but I'm very intrigued to see how it's going to work out because Archon just seemed to have more of a solidified lineup from top to bottom here. But let's do it, Maut. Game 2 action. For this best-of-3 series, a single elimination series here for the BTS Americas powered by Squarespace. Let's write up introductions here. I will do the honors of Team Archon, formerly known as the North American Rejects version 2. We have Chad, who's going to be playing your Omni Knight. MSS, the Mojo Storm Stout, is going to be playing Tusk. We got Kush playing your Shadow Fiend. Fog, the Green Dream, he's going to be playing your Crystal Maiden. And that's going to leave Korok playing your Weaver.
Did you hear that Kush thing from Sir Action Slax's video?
I heard that once before, and then he said it again. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I heard that.
Is that confirmed?
Sure.
Is that a definite thing?
Know.
We should ask him after this game. It seems like maybe something he would do. I honestly have no idea.
Kush has loved the dank memes for quite a while, I suppose.
It's just such a strange name. That makes sense though. There was some early game smoke action from Archon. They get some really aggressive wards here, some sentries, and I think that's fantastic. Making sure the jungle's taken away. They think this is going to be a 4-position Nature's Prophet, which it is. It is Loomdon. He has a ward. He is definitely going to be at least somewhat in the jungle. Whether that is the aggro jungle, which they kind of screwed themselves up.
I really hope
Korok
this
is going to
match ends up
Squishy. Do
being
they have
very
detection? It looks like
cosmic
no. They won't get the bottom rune spot. It will be grabbed by Champlu. On the side of Snakes, though, let's get into some introductions real quick while we have the time. Going top, it is going to be WWD on the Undying. We'll see what position he's put in. More than likely the offlane Undying, which is more and more common as we progress towards TI. Champlu on the Templar Assassin. Missing a little bit of his block here. It looks to be on Ush's side of the river. That's fantastic. In the enemy jungle, it's Loomdon on that 4-position Nature's Prophet. We've got Futsa on the Abaddon heading down bottom, and this time QXKB, rather, an assortment of numbers, is playing the Pugna, so they switch roles between the two of them, I think. I can't remember who was playing the
top quality letters for your Scrabble game, that's for sure. I don't know what they exactly mean for the lineup, but he is going to be repping the Pugna. They seem to have switched spots here. He was on the Abaddon last game. This time, Futsa. He's going to be playing your Abaddon, trying to zone back the little pesky Weaver Korok here. The other side has been a zonage in its own right. WWD up in arms here with Chad. Chad not yet committing that first skill point. Just kind of being there as a defender for MSS so he can continue to just free farm as much as possible, but that ain't always easy against your Undying. A couple of flesh heaps here and there, and next thing you know, this guy is a freaking beast, and there's not much you can do about it. Works so well in pub play, but this is a competitive match after all, and MSS is the most well-versed and crafty veterans you can ask for, but I guess, you're in a lane with Bleak, now known as Chad, these guys both have been through the ringer quite a lot, so I'm sure that they know exactly what they're going to be doing here, and it's more of a tough test for WWD.
Yeah, I do like the laning setup, though, from Snakes. They're putting pressure on KotLGuy, making sure he's not getting any easy farm, and he's only got 2 last hits now. It's a very tough, aggressive dueling to go up against, and Fog is yet to rotate into lane. He really wants to get the second point, and first point to Arcane or get some regen up. And they're going to go on top, though. TP coming in from the Nature's Prophet. Tombstone is down, but they will kill it quickly. They have Purification ready to go. He will TP in. Snowball's going to come through. Chad not picked up by the Snowball. Chad, he's got the Degen or on Loomdon. Might not be able to chase it down. Good usage of the Nature's Prophet Treant. That will be the first blood. Will they get WWD? One more right click. He will get it done. But now Loomdon coming into doing work on MSS. He's got the South. Can he avoid these couple of right clicks and stay alive? That's the question, Dakota. It's going to be close.
Oh, he tries to cut him off.
Oh,
MSS
no.
tries to step back
Salve.
with us right in the tree.
Oh.
The return of Chad pops down a Purification, but
He didn't
still,
snowball.
MSS is just not going to be committing the snowball there, and will end up going down. Maybe a bit of a misplay. Couldn't, find the frantic pick of who to snowball onto. Chad, gets the connection. The work coming out from the Degen aura and the secondary Purification is going to be the icing on the cake for that one, and we end up with a 2 for 2. What a hot start coming out from both these teams.
All right, man. It is the early usage of that TP coming out from the Nature's Prophet that provides first blood. That's fantastic. Chad gets the ranged right click with the hammer to secure the last kill in that engagement top lane, but that's some crazy shit happening currently, and I guess that's to be expected when you have a 4-position Nature's Prophet. We'll see how things are going down bottom. KotLGuy just have 9 last hits. There's 14 for the Pugna, so QXKV on the Pugna. This time the Pugna is having a fantastic time, not dying, getting plenty of last hits. Fog is just trying to pull. He's trying to make sure that KotLGuy can have a good lane, and Lumda does not want to let that happen, but it looks like he will miss. Oh no. He cancels it? It's going to be close. He's going to bring the camps. Bring the creep wave. They're going to try to contest this, and
this is
they should
its own
clear
little
this
Middle
up.
Earth battle in itself right here, breaking out between the pull on one side. Now
Top
KotLGuy
lane.
even having to get involved a bit. Very awkward.
WWD in trouble.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower
yes,
under
he hit the
fire.
Tombstone. They try to block him out with the R shards, but he didn't turn the corner, and he looks like he will make it away, and they get a free 100 gold there. From
Radiant's bottom tower is
back on
being
bottom,
attacked.
We see Futsa. He's moving in. He sees Fog. And he thinks about second-guessing his move here. KotLGuy now on pursuit. QXKB might be left alone here. Has to
Good
stealth to
defense.
Crepify to stay
Tower is
alive.
being attacked.
Creek comes out. Lumina wants to help. He gets the heal now from
Radiant's bottom tower under
Futsa.
fire.
And they're barely able to make it out from there. Almost a little too far from home there, little Pugna. KotLGuy almost took advantage.
WWD top lane. Ice shards will tell on to Chad, so he can't get decayed. That'll be the kill coming out from the Omni, or rather, Chad on the Omni Knight. Actually, is decayed? It is magical. Okay, good. Wanted to make sure. But yeah, that's another kill on the offlane and dying.
Dial's top
And MSS
tower
is
is
using
under
it. Work done.
siege.
Ooh, mid lane is close.
He's spanking down Shampoo a little bit, but now he gets caught with a Sprout. Oh, Reflection.
Dial's middle
They're
tower
going
is
to be
being
coming off,
attacked.
avoiding out the raise damage. The uphill connection is coming through. And Ush is going to be going down to the hands of Shampoo. Another good rotation comes in from Loomdon, taking advantage of the Ush positioning.
Yeah, this is... this Nature's Prophet really should not be working out, but it absolutely is actually doing work. So, I just... It's very strange to see how well this is working out for them. Obviously, Ush is still doing a great job mid. The Templar Assassin is not too far behind. They haven't been stacking the jungle. Is the Ancient stack for the TA? Absolutely not. What about the jungle on the side of Ush? Does he have anything? It looks like no. They've got no stacks. It's pretty much just been fogged, abusing that jungle with the Frostbite and going from there. So, all right, where are we at right now? The Pugna's probably going to go for a mech, I imagine. Futsa has nothing. I think he's got something flying out of the courier now. Actually, he's just poor as hell. Futsa's got nothing in the bank. WWD is getting killed top lane again. It's had a really rough game.
Yeah, snowball in. He's forced to pop down. Now rotation out from his allies, but he gets snapped with Purification, blocked out with the Ice Shards here. He does get the rip-off, souls up a little bit, and now it's Loomdon coming in along with Futsa. Quick retreat comes out, but Undying gets the connection kill, and it's going to be Omni Knight goes down. Snakes, they get a good rotation in, and they get the return kill. Good counter fight for them.
Yeah, that's great. Futsa with a great rotation. As an Abaddon, much like a Dazzle, you have to carry that TP. You have to be ready at all times for situations like that to arise. They TP in, they get the miscoil off, they aphotic him, and once they saw the aphotic shield, and probably even the third man in being the Nature's Prophet, they were like, we have to leave now. So really good rotations from Snakes. 3 to 4. KotLGuy is going to get more room to farm, but he's already he's not doing as good as he would like. 27 last hits at 6 minutes. He could be doing a lot worse, and KotLGuy has somehow found some farm out of this lane where he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, he's got a good time now. If it's just him and the Pugna, he's not too scared, taking advantage of the time while Madden is ventured elsewhere. Back on mid lane though, Loomdon thinking about rotating in, does go. They're thinking about making a move onto Ush here. They slow him down with the trap, but Chad shows up and says, get the hell back. Pops out the repel and the purification, and everything seems to be right in the world for Team Archon as they're going to get the save here. But Loomdon continues to just build up that pressure, and you're testing your Omni Knight on being ready at a moment's notice.
That's just really good game sense from Chad. They know they've been going top a lot. Ush was the next target on the list. They were going to TP in. They try to get the kill. And they save Ush without having to use a TP. Chad just walks up and purifies him, and it was pretty close, to be honest, but he does get the invis rune. There's no Central Ward down here for Shampoo. He'll have to play a little bit back. They didn't see him pick up that particular rune. Shampoo, wow, he almost died to that last right click of Ush. If Ush had continued on there and gotten that last right click, that's a kill, as Refraction came out a moment too late if he committed to the kill. Yeah, I don't think he knew how close he was. KotLGuy's getting TP'd on bottom, though. This could be disastrous for him.
Rotating all the way in. Loomdon has the dust, throws it on out. They're going to see him, and they don't catch him with the sprout. He slips out the other way. Rotation comes in from MSS with immediate ice shards. They're going to block back and move on to Loomdon. Catches with the Walrus Punch. He gets sealed with a shield, but it's not going to be enough. The purification comes through, and it is going to be Chad who gets the kill. Now it's Futsa on the run from MSS. He's slowing him down. Now gets the ice shards off. Futsa has nowhere to go, and he gets popped. Double kill for Chad. That's 2 purification kills, 3 all day. This guy is 4-2-2 on an Omni Knight.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, Chad is playing out. That's level 3 purification. It's not even max level yet. He has nothing to regen mana other than a magic wand. How is he getting these kills? Like, where's he getting the mana from? It's the Arcane Aura. That's what it is. He doesn't have a great mana pool. With Arcane Aura, you don't have to worry about it. You can wait. You can rotate elsewhere. You can walk somewhere and suddenly have full mana back. You don't have to TP back to the well. The biggest issue with an Omni Knight is getting some sort of mana item early, and I feel like they've alleviated that issue. Sure, it's not the most mana regen in the world, 2.7 a second, but with the low mana pool that Omni Knight has, with boots and a wand as well, especially, they're making it work. They will have to give up this tier 1 tower top more than likely. They clearly want to farm. They'll find Shampoo, which hasn't double damage, by the way. That's frightening as all hell.
Yeah, during that big old breakout bottom lane, we got to acknowledge the fact that Ush was brought down again in the mid lane. And now is 0-2-0 in his Shadow Fiend. Very quiet for an Ush kind of a game, but
he's still leading in CS. But his net worth is actually suffering. You look at the net worth of the TA, she's 1,000 ahead, and all signs point to Shampoo getting an early blink dagger here. And positioning-wise, that's going to be fantastic. So they're going to go on bottom, though. Loomdon and WWE gets stunned up by the snowball. Good purification. They do get 2, so yeah, but here comes along the backside. Frostbite, rather. Crystal Nova, not enough. He's going to walk in. He's in trouble. Fogged, about to fall. Gets decrypted. Another blast towards Ice Shards. Will not save him. That last decay coming through from WWE is enough. He'll try to TP away. KotLGuy coming in with the Shikuchi. He's got the time lapse if necessary. Pugna running out of mana. He's got Decrypt in 1. He's got the Arcanes in 4. And here comes Shampoo. KotLGuy should not turn and fight this. He will continue with the Shikuchi. There's Futsa. He'll head back up towards the Ancients. And they do get a bit of a trade there, but the tier 2 tower does take a significant chunk of damage to Dakota. Snakes are in a pretty good position right now, man.
They really are. Trade, not too bad either. Oh, blue. Back and forth. He's going to be able to snag up the invis here. But yeah, they lose their roaming position for aggressive Nature's Prophet in exchange for just the little 5 Crystal Maiden, so it's not too shabby for Archon. But yeah, the map dominance and really Team Snakes being all over the place, it seems to be working pretty well so far against Team Archon. Ush, though, he still continues to farm on up. Got about 1,100 gold here. I'm wondering if he's going to be going for... A mech doesn't seem too crazy necessary this game when you got an Omni Knight on board. Is the flashy Yules kind of a get-up, or do you go straight for something like a BKB?
It's tough, I think. I think mech is probably your best bet. Yules is... I think Yules is fine
Radiant's
too.
bottom tower is demolished.
But I wouldn't be surprised Meg Yules, BKB, I've seen Ushko SMY before. He clearly is taking his time to think about it. And Shampoo's just going to jump in with his Blink Dagger. Frostbite's going to come out. Can they bring him down? He does have some fraction back up. Good TV rotations. Tombstone's on the deck. They've got Repel and GA. They're going to use it. They're getting turned on. Requiem getting channeled. Doesn't do much damage. Chad looking to turn this. As well as Fog. Good purification. WWD, great solar. Keeps himself alive with the dankest of rips. There's the Ice Shards flying across. Futsu will get caught out. Here's MSS. Snowball just barely hits the Walrus Punch. Can they bring this man down? He's so goddamn tanky. Champloo as well. That's the bigger target. Screw the frickin' Undying. Kill the goddamn TA. They'll do just that. Their solo Fog does go down to the miscoil and right click.
Ush is behind them. They get the Sprout though, and he can't make it through, but it's Chad once again with the purification. It's going to secure that one. MSS gets the follow-up cleanup grab on the Loom thereafter. And now it's attention on WWD. Where the hell is he going to go? Nowhere. He gets uppercutted and now tries to turn back, but it's going to be Ush who's able to snipe him down with the rage. Uh-oh, QXKV not going to get caught out with the Ice Shards, but he almost got himself in a world of hurt. He is forced to step back and be the lone survivor of that hot mess. 11-7, it's Team Archon who get their first really significant team fight advantage their way.
Yeah, that was a huge engagement. Chad has done so much work. His Arcanes came through. Obviously, we talked about the Arcane Aura previously. Purification after purification after purification, and MSS being a Tusk is able to just come in and do some work, wreak havoc, if you will. They'll get a haste rune for Champloo. This TA, she's being pretty combative here early on with this Blink Dagger. I mean, the early Blink hasn't paid off yet. She's obviously gotten a couple really good kills, but the early Blink doesn't seem to be doing too much. They'll back up. They'll push out mid. Do they have a smoke? I imagine they would have if they're grouping up here. Looks like that's not the case. They just want to push out mid. Now they'll head down bottom, deal with Korok, and he's already up to treads as well as Aquila, and has enough money for a Mithril Hammer should he go for it, Dakota.
Let's see. This is just such an interesting, different kind of a game. How often are you going against the Pugna Undying with addition to roaming? Wisdom, Nature's Profitable. We'll have to hold that thought mid lane when they engage. MSS, man, they blow him the hell up. That purification, pure damage is really something else, isn't it, boys and girls? Chad now dominating with something like his way to victory, but no! Ush says, have the Spirit Bomb, blows himself the hell up, and quickly two hit the deck for the side of Snakes here. Now it's really Team Archon just kind of blowing this game wide open for themselves. Bottom lane, Korok teasing and tantalizing. It looks like a little bit Loomdon just gets, well, his ankle's broken. He thought that Korok went to the side shop there, scouts it out with the Sprout, but that's not the case. Korok is still here, waiting. Now as they TP away, Korok is just going to wait for the lane to open up a bit, or who's going to be the straggler. For now, it looks like Champloo, so he'll engage in a brief one-on-one, but attention on the mid lane here as Team Archon push towards this tier 2.
I completely forgot about Blink being an option on a Shadow Fiend, and, well, Ush makes it work out to his advantage. That's a pretty great item. And now his net worth is skyrocketed. He's up to 6,000. It's only 500 ahead of the TA. The biggest problem is that the TA has to be making a lot of space for the rest of his team, because the rest of his team is poor as hell. And unfortunately, he's just not doing that right now with that Blink Dagger. He's trying to farm up bottom. They haven't stacked up Ancients for him, so he can't snowball like crazy. It's starting to become clear that it's going to be very difficult for Snakes as we move forward here. There's just too much stuff going on for Archon. They're getting too much farm. Korok is going to go for that early Desolator, it looks like, and they're going to trap it on the Pugna.
They found a Pugna, they killed the Pugna. It really was as simple as that. And unfortunately, just a bit of bad positioning there. And we look at the ward view, or like just the map viewage here for Snakes, and there just isn't much of it. Maybe more credit to Team Archon, their support staff. Clearly, they've some serious sentry wards. They got their own bit of vision themselves. They have made sure that they are the ones who control where things happen on this map. And he gets rolled on, uppercutted, and he just high-fived Jesus as he comes back down to death. Chad again, mega kill for this Omni Knight. My goodness.
Such a sick combo, like Snowball, Boris Punch into Purification. How are you supposed to deal with that? Yeah, I mean, you can't. You're dead. Like you said, the I-5 Jesus, that's just went up to heaven. And unfortunately, Archon, for Snakes, they are having some trouble here. Look at this Ice Sigil, the Crystal Nova. Champloo was slowed up for days. He does somehow blink away from that. They could have caught him out. Instead, he will be able to get away. They do take down the tier 1 tower. Korok's, I imagine Desolator is very close to completion. What is the recipe now? Is it like 300 something for that freaking item?
It's cheaper now, certainly.
Oh, it's 300, yeah.
The recipe was taken down quite a bit. Makes things, you know, for your TAs and for your Weavers, going down that path of destruction seems bit more tempting when things just get, easier on the budget. For now, though, Champloo just went with the Blink Dagger first and foremost. We'll have to see if he goes with the BKB there next. They're in more of that, waiting defensive positions. I went right in the mid lane. MSS uses his own Blink Dagger, jumps in, gets the connection on WWE. This KotLGuy doing his own life drain, not enough to save the poor Undying. It will save himself, but it's a pick nonetheless. And they continue to move their advantage even further. 16-7 now. Team Archon.
Oh no, Shivered Bow time. The last right click, that's so annoying. They might have to give up this tier 2 defense now too. It's not even gonna matter. Oh, he did get off. What? He had his refraction and got blown up. Oh my god, Requiem. Oh, it did work. It blew him to freaking smithereens, and that refraction did absolutely nothing. They will have to give up this tier 2 tower chase. Lumen top lane now even has to back away. Borok is. He's got it. There's his Desolator. It's done. That's difficult now. Oh my god, he's gonna shred through a lot of these heroes.
Yeah, and now it's more of potential defensives and high ground defenses for Team Snakes and what they hope is their ideal situation, because right now it's all Archon all day. MSS, your bruiser, watching out in front here. He's got that blink. Tries to get a little bit of extra vision, of course, with your ice shards. We'll double back instead. Snakes now. It's pressure on them if they want to hold this game out, because it's an elimination match. Archon win this one. They move on to the next round.
They win this fight, I think the game's over.
Well,
it's off to a bad start.
Oh my gosh, just as quick as he flips through the air, Undying gets killed. Now they move in. Life Drain's going to be there from KotLGuy. Just a brief tickle, but they are clearly getting forced back. Oh, trying to run to the high ground and get the hell home, but they can't get away. Chad catches KotLGuy with a purification bomb that blows them up. And now Fogdon laying a huge freezing field. There is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Team Archon is here, and they have just swept the Snake Squad 2-0.
That was a shaky start. I think you could call it shaky. It wasn't even that bad for Archon. They were trading, they were getting kills. Sure, they might not have been getting the most farm in the world, but they were making sure Us was getting CS. Even though he died, they were making sure KotLGuy got CS. The biggest issue, I think, for a lot of teams is how do you shut down a Tusk? And for teams that are on the edge of like tier 2, tier 3, it seems like a lot of them don't have answers. And in fact, professional teams really don't have answers to how to shut down a Tusk. It's so difficult. You add on an amazing Omni Knight with Chad, who was probably my MVP of the entire series. These two together, Chad and MSS, they're a force to be reckoned with. Purification plus Snowball into Walrus Punch. It's the new combo, apparently. We'll see if they bring up the Omni Knight for more games, maybe at the International, the wild card, or maybe through BTS America. We still have a long way to go for this one, Dakota, but this was expected, and Archon played it, I wouldn't say flawlessly, but they played well.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Chad has played one hell of a stellar series here for Team Archon. Got to give, of course, credit to Snakes. They battled their way through that open qualifier. They did get to walk out from that qualifier with $250. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean they match against one of the favorites going through the tournament here in just round number 1, and their journey in BTS Americas will be over. If you yourself out there had a different opinion on who your MVP was, well, don't fret. You can always tweet at Squarespace with hashtag BTS Americas on who you thought was the MVP and why. And they select one random person for a free promo code for 1 year on Squarespace. Let me tell you, it's easier to make a website there than anything else. And let's go ahead and look at the bracket here, Maut, and see what's in store for us in the future and where Team Archon are going to be moving forward. Well, they move forward in the next round, but they have to wait now for their next opponent between Not Today and Void Boys. That's going to be the next series to come, but it's not going to happen until July 8th. So there will be a couple of days off with no BTS Americas action. But from there on out, we hit you hard with a lot of serious coverage. So we'll have the Not Today Void Boys on the 8th. On the 9th, we're going to be seeing, finally, Root Gaming go against eHug, and then we get to move on to the next round. There it is. I mean, the action is just going to get that much better, Maut. I'm really excited to see. And I want to know, who do you think is your teams that are going to make it all the way into the final?
Right now, with the way Archon just played, I have to think that they'll at least contest. I think they will make it to the final. Will they beat Complexity, who I imagine is going to get to the other side of the final? I don't know.